you and your husband, before you decided that you were both in love, did you ever have the discussion about that you were male before?
Of course, I actually, when I met him, I told him because he would hit me up because we would chat online. Well, I first met him online on Tag. So
Hmm.
I was there and I met him, and it took me 3 days. And I'm sure when he sees this, he's going to tell everyone it's true. It took him 3 days, took me, sorry, 3 days for me to respond to him. And I told him, he said, "Can I have your number?" I said, "Well, there's something that you need to know about me. I'm not your type." But then he put up this defensive wall and said, "How do you know I'm not your type?" I said, "Well, I'm a transsexual." So after 5 minutes, I said, he came back. I said, "Did you Google the word?" And we both laughed about it. He said, "Really, you're sexy." So then we exchanged numbers and began to create a bond. And I showed him pictures of me before as a male, pictures of me now. And it's quite obvious, well, he's my husband, so
Okay.
I showed him
So,
everything. I don't hide. And I believe that when a trans woman meets someone, they should always tell them 100%, tell them your story. Let that individual man make the decision to go with you or not to go with you.
okay.
Because if you don't tell him and he goes with you, because some of us girls are pre-op and post-op. That
Hmm.
means some of us has the female genitalia, and some of us still have our male genitalia. So
Okay.
if you're one of those, and the guy said, "Well, okay, they're looking to see this," they're not going to see between your legs because your clothes are on. So I telling, not telling him, and then getting in the bed with him and doing that, that can lead to something very destructive.
Hmm. Now, now that you said that, I, I want to just point out one thing. When you think about government ID in Canada, I know in the US they're making a move towards changing the gender on identification. Now, have we reached that point in Canada yet?
Yes, we have. All of my IDs are female. I don't have nothing male about me. What happens is that you go to see an endocrinologist or your doctor, and your doctor will always write a letter for you. And your doctor
Mhm.
will say, well, the gender does not match the identity. And then you take it into Service Canada, you have your name change, but you must spend 1 year in Ontario before you actually change your name and change your gender at the same time.
Hmm. Now, now that you've said that, now how important is your work at Black Cap? How important, just so people can understand that Black Cap means business when they are reaching out to help you.
They never had a role like this as Black Cap, as you identified before. And I came into
Mhm.
the role. Actually, no one knew where the role was going to or the vast extent because this is the first time. So
Mhm.
me being running a call center for years, so one of my trans friends said, "Kitanya, you need to get out of the call center and try something new." And I was like, okay. And they said Black Cap is hiring. However, it is very important for my role because we have so many Black girls out there that are suffering from anxiety, suffering from the lack of support, suffering from the lack from mental stability. And it's very important as humans, not only for LGBTQ, that we have that support, especially going through that, right?
Mhm.
So the work is going into the field, getting hands-on with the community, working with partnership networks, working with Sherboard, working with different um, partners to ensure not only that we are coming together to seek the best interest, but we provide what we say we're going to do.
Okay.
So it's something that is extremely important. And these girls never had this before. And they're very, very grateful for it because they have someone that they can look up to, look upon, go to with their problems. Because I also help them with their mental issues. I talk to them one on one. I listen to them. Sometimes I tell them, don't, if you have a problem, don't even care what time it is. You can call me on my work phone. That is not a problem. We're going to talk about it because the last thing that I want these girls to do is to think there's no one out there that doesn't care about them or their interests.
Now, now that you said that as well, how do we change? You know, our community sometimes can be its own worst enemy. And you know, sometimes even though the trans have they're active in the trans march and um, trying to bring trans awareness to respect, trying to just show people that they matter as well in the world. But yet, sometimes when it comes to the performers who might not totally identify as trans, or they're drag queens or female impersonators or however they feel that they identify as, sometimes our own community chastise us, because I've heard this word so many times and it's brought the fight on every time: tranny. Why? What? How
I
can we
just
change that?
I despise that tranny because you see, that's a culture. It's a habit that they adopt. So it's like the new fashion trends are coming down, like the Samsung S20 Ultra Plus. Everyone is going to want one of those. So they're so accustomed to calling it the Ultra, is that when they go back, is they're so accustomed to looking at every person as a transsexual, they call them tranny for short.
Mm-hmm.
And it will take a lot of work for them to actually change that word to reflect female or just transsexual. And it also have to do with the individual, because if you're talking to me and you're going to refer me as a tranny, I said, okay, well, I don't feel too comfortable for you calling me a tranny. So can you
Mm-hmm.
please refrain and stop from that? So it will take a lot of hard work, and we have to have actually bring awareness to the person that's saying it to us
Mm-hmm.
in our face. So we have to let them know where we stand. It's like if
Okay.
they call us the wrong name. Say, for instance, somebody called me Katarina. That's not my name. My name is Kitanya. So
Mm-hmm.
you actually have to correct them. So it's still work in progress, and we're currently working on that, but it will take some time to reach the place in which it needs to
Okay. Now, just this is a sensitive question concerning religion and us being, you know, coming from most of us that are Christians or however else we celebrate religion under whatever it is. But in the Black community, it's mostly about Christianity. So, how is it that we see the Black churches reaching out to, like you said, the shelters and what they consider the normal society, but you never see them step in to take charge and help and focus on the LGBT two spirit pronoun community, and mainly the trans community.
It has been that way for many years, and I don't believe it, because there's no way that you are Christian and you are choosing to help a certain group of people, heterosexuals, people that are not gay, are not trans, are not non-binary. You cannot choose. It's either you're going to accept us all, or why are you there then? Because I am so tired of hearing people, and I know I may get dinged for this, but this is my personal opinion. I am so tired that from the time that people hear about, okay, you're trans or you are gay, they run for the Bible. Why? Are there any other educational resources that you can use to get your point across? But yet in the Bible, it says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, but you run for a Bible. And at the end of the day, all of us have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Because you're not going to come and tell me that God is going to put me in the pits of hell because of who I am and I am gay, but yet you had children out of wedlock, you wear mixed match clothing, you eat pork, all these things the Bible speak about.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand where you're coming from. It really baffled me for years and years and years and years. Because I had
Mm-hmm.
an experience in Barbados, whereas I was beginning to transition before I came, and the Jehovah's Witness would come to my house. And from the time they see me, they will say, men should not lie with men. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they would say, your lifestyle is wrong. I said, my lifestyle is wrong, but